guys, what are we gonna do today? I bet you can guess. We're gonna decorate this cute little apron. Hopefully you can learn some fun concepts that you can decorate bags, aprons, books, anything you'd like, but let's just get started. So this is the apron that we're going to decorate today, and I'm gonna embellish it with other pieces of fabric, images, and also stamps. So I have a printed fabric that had cute baking images on it, and I'm gonna be putting a fusible web behind it, cutting them out and putting them on. But we also have a video on how to transfer images onto your own fabric. So you can look at that too and come up with your own images you'd like to use. So let's just get started. Okay, so I am just gonna iron my steam machine to the back of this fabric. And after I've ironed it on, I am going to cut it out. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut all my elements out. So the first thing I'm going to do is line up all my elements, decide what I want to do, and line up all my pieces on here so I know how it's going to fit. So I decided I was going to do a shortbread recipe on here. So I've kind of got them laid out so I know where things are going to go, and they'll probably still change a little bit as I go. So I'm going to peel my backing off, and then this is going to give me a guide for where all my stamps go. Steam seam is sticky enough and they'll stay on here very nicely until I'm ready to iron it. Okay, so now I can start stamping. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to do shortbread. I'm going to move my mix. And I want to make sure I use a really nice juicy ink on this because it's going into fabric. It'll soak in and you really want to get a good image. My next one is mix. These cursive letters I like to do singly so I can attach them, and you can't really do that on a clear mount. You need to do one at a time. Okay, now we're going to iron our embellishments down. Okay, so now that I've stamped it and I have all my pieces, and just move them where you want to if they've shifted around a little, I am just going to heat set the ink and use some hot steam and steam these pieces that have the fusible web behind them on to the apron. I'm using a piece of parchment paper on top, and I won't get ink on my iron. Okay, so I thought what I would do to add some colors, I am going to crayon in the word add. And I'm just using regular old Crayola crayons, but you could use any type of crayons. Okay, I think I'm going to add another color on top of it, and then when I iron it down, it'll just blend these colors together. So now I'm going to heat set this. So I'm just going to use a white sheet of typing paper and iron over this. Be sure not to lay this part back down on there. You can see how I moved it around because you don't want that to redeposit back on your apron. Okay, we're gonna add a couple more embellishments and we're done. So I think I'm gonna sew some trim around the outside edges. So all I'm doing is using some of my sari silk. You could add trim. You don't need to add trim, just whatever you'd like. So I kind of ironed my sari silk out, and I'm just gonna do a running stitch just around the outside edges of this. Okay guys, you know what? This is really colorful now. We added sari silk all the way around and sewed it up. But you could make it as simple or as ornate as you would like. You could make it into a baking apron, a gardening apron, a craft apron. Here was another one we had done. It's a craft roll to hold your brushes, and I added some fun pieces and just ironed them on and used some watercolor to color them in. But whatever you do, I hope you try some of these ideas and have fun.